Welcome to Kentucky Football Nation. Let's go over my list of top 10 running backs for the modern era. Now, I'm calling the modern era 1980 to now 2025. Why 1980, you say? Because before 1980, there was not cable. There was only 3 channels, ABC, NBC, CBS. I didn't get to see Derrick Ramsey. I didn't get to see the Cats during the 70s play. So I'm not going to comment on that. I'm just going to go 1980, cable starts to come in, Jefferson Pilot picks up a weekly SEC game every Saturday. So I actually got to see Kentucky play on, I think it was TBS. Turner came on, and I actually saw them play football. And wow, we have a football team. So I'm going to go 1980 until now. And I did not go in statistical order, okay? These are my picks. You're probably going to have some different picks because I'm going to leave some people off here. Once again, I'm going to go by talent, but I'm in numbers, but I'm going to go by how hard did that person play? You know, how hard-nosed did they? How much did they do for the team? So let's start off at number 10. I got Moe Williams, fastest guy we've ever had. I mean, he had a 75-yard run where it wasn't against the SEC school. It was, I think, the opening game of the year. I can't remember. But man, that guy was fast. And he had 2,511 yards. He averaged 6.9 yards a carry, which is ridiculous. The reason he averaged 6.9 yards a carry is because he had so many long runs. I think one year he had the second most longest runs from the line of scrimmage in college football. I mean, he would break a 50-yard run, a 40-yard run. He'd be gone just like that. If you saw the back of his jersey, you're not catching him. I thought he would do better in the pros. I think Cincinnati drafted him, and he ended up in Canadian Football League. But, man, that guy was fast. He had 18 touchdowns. He had 38 receptions for 292 yards, and he averaged 7.7 yards per reception and two touchdowns receiving. Like I said, elite speed. And I did like the way he played. So I got him at number 10. Excuse me, number 9. Now, this guy would have been higher. If you look at, once again, I didn't look at the list and go 1, 2, 3, or 5. Okay, who has the best stats? I got Derrick Locke at number 9. You could have him higher because of his stats. He had 2,618 yards rushing. He averaged 5.1 yards a carry. He had 22 touchdowns. He also had 95 receptions for 883 yards. He averaged 9.3 yards per reception, which is stellar, and 3 touchdowns receiving. He ran some kicks back. I think he ran one back in a bowl game. Once again, he had elite speed too. Really fast, and he played tough. I could have had him higher, but I got him at number 9. Now I got Derrick Homer at number 8. Statistically, not number 8, but he was good at receiving and rushing. So he played in the air raid, Hal Mummy, in the 90s. He had 1,689 yards rushing for 4.8 yards a carry, which is good, and 11 touchdowns. He had 129 receptions for 1,052 yards, 8.2 yards a reception, which is stellar for a running back, and 2 touchdowns. He was a dual threat. That's why I have him at number 8. He was a dual threat, and he ran hard. And he was a hard-nosed player. So that's why I have him at number 8. Number 7, you could have this guy higher. I think he's top 3 or 4. Rafael Little. 2,996 yards rushing, 5.2 yards a carry, 16 touchdowns. He had 131 receptions for 1,300 yards, 10.1 yards per reception, which is stellar, and 4 touchdowns. You know, I don't have him higher because, man, when he played on some really bad Rich Brooks teams, I mean, I think he might have won a bowl game, but man, we just weren't very good back then. And he could be ranked higher statistically. Man, you know, there were games he took off. He took off some games, and he didn't play hard. And I remember we went up to Indiana. All right, look, I get it. 9/11. We don't play Indiana. We have to play them when the season's over. If you guys remember this in 2001. We couldn't play Indiana because 9/11 happened. We were supposed to play that weekend. So the season was over. We have to go play them. Well, they're not going to be in a bowl, and we're not going to be in a bowl. So we didn't want to be there, and they didn't want to be there. They did beat us, and there were fights and stuff like that. But I just feel like there were games, if we were losing, he would take plays off. and I didn't like that. So that's why I have him ranked at 7th and not higher. Number 6, George Adams. Not statistically, but man, this guy was tough. Now, this was Jerry Claiborne. We were 0-10 with this guy, but man, this guy ran hard. I don't care. We played Oklahoma. We played some really big teams, and Herschel Walker in Georgia, and they were beating the crap out of us. This dude would run through people. George Adams, 3,908 yards. He scored 20. Well, he had 4.2 yards a carry. He had 25 touchdowns. He also had 79 receptions for 609 yards, 7.7 yards per reception. But like I said, ended up playing for the Giants. I mean, we didn't have an offensive line at all. And I don't know how the guy ran for that many yards, because he just had nothing and he would just run through people. So he played about as hard as I've ever seen any of our running backs ever play. And like I said, awful teams. Number 5, I have Owensboro Mark Higgs. I know a little bit about this guy. Mark Higgs had 2,892 yards rushing, 5.4 yards a carry. He had 25 touchdowns, 58 receptions, 483 yards, 8.3 yards a reception. Played in the 80s for Jerry Claiborne. Ended up playing for the Dolphins. He had a really good pro career. Fast dude. I mean, once again, tough guy. Wasn't that big, but man, he had some speed, and he knew how to navigate through traffic. That's what I liked about him. I think that's why he did so well in the pros. Mark Higgs, number 5. Number 4, definitely not number 4 if you look at the stats. Not anywhere near number 4, but I got Anthony White. 1,758 yards rushing, 4.8 yards a carry, 1,520 yards receiving, 7.8 yards per reception. And he had 11 rushing touchdowns and 8 receiving touchdowns. And that's not, if you look at the stats, you go, wow, why am I putting him so high? Well, Anthony White was first running back in the air raid with Derrick Homer. They were a heck of a combination. They both went for 1,000 rushing, 1,000 receiving. But Anthony White was a chain mover. He would keep the chains moving when we needed a first down. You would throw a screen pass. You would throw it out to him in the flat, and he would make people miss, and he would get a first down. That's why I got him so high. He was really good at that. I mean, we wouldn't have won any games if it wasn't for him doing that right there. So he was the best air raid running back, and watching other teams that run the air raid. I've never seen anybody that can do what he did as far as getting open, doing his assignment and rushing and just keeping the chains moving. So Anthony White is who I have at number 4. Number 3, not statistically number 3, but Moe Williams. 3,333 yards rushing, 5.4 yards a carry, 36 touchdowns. Played for Bill Curry in the 90s. Now I played in the option. We talked about all kinds of options, triple option. They know the guy's got. They know he's going to get the ball. I think he had 175 yards rushing or more at South Carolina. I think he has the most rushing yards for one game for us. Tough guy. I mean, he would run over people. Once again, they knew he was going to hit the ball because we're running the option, and he would just run over people. I know he played for the Vikings, playing the pros. Toughest running back, probably number 1 as far as toughness. Number 1 is Moe Williams. Never saw anybody run that hard. Awful teams, awful offensive line. You're running right at people who know you're coming, and they stack the box, and you still run over them, and you still average, 5.4 yards a carry. Moe Williams, tough dude. I got him at 3. Of course, 1 and 2, you can't. Chris Rodriquez Jr. is 2. Second leading rusher in our history, 3,664 yards, 32 touchdowns, 6.2 yards a carry. That's amazing. The dude would drag people. One person was not going to tackle him. He would hit somebody, and when he hit the hole hard. Did not shy away from contact. Number 1, of course, is Benny Snell. Record 3,878 rushing yards, 5.3 yards a carry, 48 touchdowns. That guy was a touchdown machine. You get him on the 5-yard line, and he could get around people, through people. He's the best running back we've ever had, Benny Snell. So, yeah. So, once again, to review, Boom Williams, number 10. Derrick Locke, number 9. Derrick Homer, number 8. Rafael Little, number 7. George Adams 6, Mark Higgs 5, Anthony White 4, Moe Williams 3, Chris Rodriquez 2, Benny Snell number 1. If you look at the top 25, 30 rushers there, I've got it way out of order. Who did I leave out? I left out R2's Penner, Mark Logan. Man, he played for Jerry Claiborne. That's what I'm trying to say. Ivy Joe Hunter played for Jerry Claiborne. Once again, that's 2 tough running backs who played for crappy teams, but Claiborne, we were able to beat Georgia. We were able to beat Tennessee. We were able to beat Florida. So even though Claiborne didn't win a lot of games, he did win some big games. And we were competitive in the SEC during that time. So that's 3 running backs that I would have put on the list if we would have went farther. But who's your top 10 running backs since 1980? Who did I leave out? Who did I put out of order? Once again, I went by the eye test. I didn't go by the stats. I went by, okay, this dude went out there every day and played hard. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please hit that subscribe button. Football season's coming up soon. I'm trying to get 500 subscribers so I can go live and do some polls and things like that. But I have to get 500 subscribers. So please help me out, guys. Hit that subscribe button. If you haven't seen a quarterback video, I'm going to do quarterbacks, wide receivers, and maybe tight ends from the modern era. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching.